Hi, and welcome to Show of Hands Hangout number something. Uh, we have, well, I'll have you introduce yourselves, but we may have another person who will be jumping in. Um, Maybe not. I guess it's entirely possible that goes both ways. Uh, but if you want to just quick introduce yourself, say who you are on the app, though you're familiar by now, um, uh, what you want to be called, and
How about who you're rooting for on Sunday? How about that?
what's that?
Who you're rooting for on Sunday?
Okay, yeah, that's great.
You are aware that there's a football game Sunday, right?
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say, does he even know what's going on Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm being honest, I knew it was coming up. I know who's playing. I didn't know it was this Sunday, but I am helping my sister-in-law move this Sunday, so it doesn't really matter if I know that or not. Um,
Okay, it's just my opinion that if your sister-in-law chooses to move on Super Bowl Sunday, then it's time for a new sister-in-law.
There you go.
you know,
That's just
you know,
that
yes
you
and
have to
no,
have your
but
priorities.
yes and no. But Super Bowl Sunday is actually a really nice day to move because there's not much traffic. You can get really cheap pizza and snacks, and stuff is still open. Like I've moved on
Yeah,
Christmas Day before, and
Mm.
getting a truck on Christmas Day is awful.
but who's going to help you move on Super Bowl Sunday?
I am.
Apparently, your brother-in-law.
Yeah, there you go. You are. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. I'm Ronderman on the app. And I will be pulling for the hashtag not New England Patriots. Sorry, it was never Trump, never Hillary, never Brady, or never Patriots. That's where I'm going at that point. Don't know why. Just I'm on the bandwagon of I just don't like them. Tom Brady is way too pretty, and his wife is way too hot for him to have this much success in every single area of his life.
All
So
right.
just out of spite, I have no real allegiances to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm never Brady. How about that?
That's fair.
Sounds good. I am Susan or BamaGirl, whichever answer to all of the above. Um, and I'm pulling for the Falcons because, well, Bama Girl and Julio Jones plays for the Falcons, so we're going with that.
I'm assuming Julio Jones was
He's a
the
Bama
Alabama
alum.
guy.
Yes, yes, Bama alum.
Are there no Bama alum on the Patriots?
I have no
It seems
idea.
kind of crazy that they wouldn't have one. You've kind of got one of the major football programs.
Yeah, um, I actually think there's an even number on both teams. I just happen to like Julio, so we're going with
Sure. It just seemed odd to me that a school that produces that many players wouldn't have someone on that team. That's all.
Yeah, Org Blue looked it up for me when they were doing the two playoff games on Show of Hands, and all four teams had two or three. So Alabama alone.
Okay.
So
Uh, I I will say Tom Brady went to U of M,
ah,
to Michigan. I went to high school not very far from there. Uh, I think he is just about as terrible of a person as there is, and enjoy watching him lose almost as much as I enjoy watching almost as much as I enjoy watching the IU basketball team lose. So
ooh,
um, I had by elimination go Falcons, I guess.
Well, so can you elaborate on how he's a terrible person? I mean, what has he done to be granted such a fine title?
To me in particular, nothing. Um, no, I knew enough guys who went to school with him. I've spent enough time by proxy to have been reassured over and over and over again that he's not someone you want to be in the same town as, let alone on a team with. That if he weren't so like ridiculously successful on the field, there would probably not be many people at all who could stand to be around him.
Okay. All right.
Good to know.
The secondhand information, Tom Brady is a douche. So, hashtag Brady is a douche.
There you go.
There you go. So.
So I will apologize for starting just a little bit late, even though that's kind of the norm.
Hey, we're starting. That's better than we've done in the past 2 weeks. So,
in my defense, in the past 2 weeks, we bought a house and moved into it. So we actually moved in on Saturday. So we're doing the best we can right now.
Hey, I'm impressed that you have internet and
yeah,
you got some books back there behind you and a very nice Christmassy tub.
Oh, yeah, these are the bins that aren't unpacked yet, and the closer one I believe is full of books, and we've got another 2 bins like that full of books, so that bookshelf's gonna fill up fast. But
you're doing better with the unpacking than me. I still have boxes, and I've been here since September. So,
yeah,
you know,
said we'd give ourselves a week, which is a long time for us. We do this a lot, but maybe it's better to say we did this a lot.
Yeah,
we're very much done with this. So let's see.
Oh, and it
looks to work on my phone because I thought it'd be nice to be able to be a little bit more mobile. It did not work out. I'm sure there's a good way of doing it. I couldn't find it.
While we are there, I will see if I can find a good picture of the house from the outside to show everybody. That is what the house looks like on the outside.
There you go.
Yeah. We're very excited about it.
So.
Let's see. Ima asks, how do you like your pancakes? Buttery, blueberry, chocolate chip, perhaps even a little whipped cream on top.
I don't know. I'm kind of a purist. I like my pancakes just pancakes, Now, that's not to say I'm going to turn my nose up on, a nice set of blueberry pancakes, especially if they're homemade. But I assume everyone knows what IHOP is, International House of Pancakes. That's a national chain, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So when I go to IHOP, I'm going to do just your standard pancakes. I don't know about whipped cream.
Butter, syrup.
Yeah, absolutely. Butter syrup, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not a big pancake eater, but I will imbibe from time to time.
I actually don't like pancakes. I will eat them, but I know, but I really don't like them.
Are you one of those waffle people?
Given the choice between the two, I would pick waffles, yes.
Okay. Do you go to the Waffle House?
I have been to Waffle House many times. Of course, now being gluten-free, if I want to have either, I pretty much need to make them at home.
That would be a problem. I don't think they do anything free at the Waffle House. It's,
Yeah, probably not so much.
I mean, you get grit free, and I mean, I'm talking like grime and dirt, not like
Oh yeah,
Southern grits and
yeah.
oil and grease and cigarette ash and
Oh
all
yeah.
sorts of stuff when you go to the Waffle. Are you familiar with the Waffle House?
I was wondering if Guyton has been to Waffle House.
I've never been to one, but I've driven past about 30 of them. It seems there's a Waffle House like every third exit between here and where you live, Ron.
Yeah, well, it's pretty standard that if you go into Waffle House, you'll either find college kids in the middle of the night who are on a study break, or people who pretty much all look like they're on parole.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you must have some type of felony record in order to get hired at the Waffle House.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And the third option, which is how I ended up going fairly regularly as a child, was somebody that works in like law enforcement, because my dad was in law enforcement, my mom was a dispatcher. And so people in the emergency service area would go there because it's open 24 hours.
In the emergency service area or parole office?
Cop, ambulance people, firemen, that sort of thing.
And there's lots of benefits because probably half of their calls happen at the Waffle.
Exactly. Yeah, they're already there.
So. Yeah, I'll have a side of hash browns while I read you your Miranda rights.
Exactly.
Ron, it was always going to come up. 4JC wants to know about your Daisy Duke shorts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's actually wearing them right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I saw all of that going on, and I knew it was going to come up. So, for those of you who weren't around this summer, at the pool we had a lost and found, and I found a pair of very small shorts, cutoff shorts, Daisy Dukes. If you have you, and so the friend that I was with said that I needed to get them for my daughter, and I said, I absolutely not. I'd get them for my wife. And she said that my wife couldn't wear them, and I said, absolutely she could. As a matter of fact, I could wear them. And so I did put them on, and then I did a poll about it, and I believe it was Laserbeam that challenged me to show pictures, and I said I would show pictures if something got like 50 likes, and it ended up getting 60 likes. So I put up a poll and had these two pictures side by side and said, who wore it better? And I was pretty pleased with my showing. Ironically, 50% of atheists out there thought that I wore it better. Only 18% of Catholics thought that I won the battle. But overall, it was about 25%. So I felt pretty good about that. But anyway, yeah, so that was my Daisy Duke story. Hopefully 4JC is watching. So now she can see. But if you want to actually go back and look at the polls, you can go to my name, look at my former polls, and it would happen sometime like back this summer. It's actually really funny polls, and the comments were quite priceless. So not my best moment on. Well, actually, it might be my best moment. Fancy knows. But yeah, that's what the Daisy Dukes. That's what the Daisy Dukes was all about. Someone did ask if I would wear them tonight. Sadly, they have been passed on to a beautiful young lady who looks much better in them than I do, or at least she did. She's about 8 months pregnant right now, which may be because she was wearing the Daisy Dukes.
Maybe so.
Who knows? But She definitely would not fit into them today, but hopefully in the next few months she'll be able to get back into them.
Perfect.
So that's my Daisy Duke story. And for the record, I said I would put the picture up if Laserbeam would come on Hangout, and I came through with my part of the bargain. We're still waiting on
Has
Laserbeam.
she still not been on?
Nope.
She said she'd do it when Susan did it. And we all
Susan didn't get to do it.
Hell will be a very cold place before Susan.
Yeah.
Not you, Susan, the other.
Yeah, Susan R. For those who don't know. Yeah, I knew who you meant. Because I've tried to talk her into being on with me. I totally get it.
Miss Crown Wax, I do agree. Obviously, Ron wore it better. So that's well, those people are quick on the draw. They are commenting about it. So there you go.
Exactly.
I'm kind of struggling. I'm sorry. I'm moving pretty
okay.
slow. Headwind George. It's weird knowing people's names and whatever. Headwind George says, if you could own any vehicle in the world, what would you want to own?
Yeah, traditionally I've not really cared, but I've got a friend who has a Tesla. I would love to have a Tesla. I just think they're the coolest thing ever. So
they're pretty fantastic.
He's the only one in town that's got one, but I would love to trade in the Highlander for a Tesla.
I'm traditionally not much of a car person. I have always liked, used to always like the Honda, not the Honda, the Mazda Miata, but it's very impractical. And I have to say, I watched a online presentation with the Tesla SUV, and it was really cool. So maybe that.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day of it has the automatic braking, whatever, if something happens in front of you. But it was a camera inside the Tesla, and there's a car in front of the Tesla, and you can't see the car in front of it. But the car in front of the Tesla hit the car in front of it, but the Tesla warned the Tesla driver before the accident happened.
Oh, wow.
I saw that's really cool. So, the future is here. So
very cool.
How about you, Guyton? What do you think?
Well, here you two are talking about cars and stuff. I read any vehicle in the world, and I started thinking bigger.
Oh no!
I thought, like
yacht, jet,
vehicle at all. I mean, it would be nice to be able to just helicopter into places. No, for a car, I would agree. I wouldn't mind having a Tesla. There's one not too far from us. It's around here, and we run into them from time to time. There are actually some pretty awesome cars around here. There's the one Tesla. There are, I think, 3 Maseratis, which are fun. It's a cool thing, but if you want to talk about impractical, having no ground clearance at all when there's snow on the ground. I mean, where you are,
yeah.
I don't think there are impractical cars where you are there?
Here?
I mean,
either North Carolina or Arizona. I mean, we only get snow, 2 or 3 times a year here. Yeah. Nothing like what you go through. But I mean, I had a friend who had a Maserati, and I followed him into a parking deck one day, and it was just monsooning. And I got out of the car and just yelled at him. I said, "Dude, on behalf of your insurance company, park that car. You don't need to have a $150,000 car running around when it's raining like this, some idiot's going to run over you. So, yeah, I'd be scared to pull that out of the driveway. But,
Yeah, that's true. During the monsoon here, it might be a little rough because we literally have a monsoon. Believe me, I thought it. Yeah. So, yeah. But other than that,
you got dust storms out there too, right?
yes.
So you don't want a Maserati outside when in the middle of a sandstorm.
No, yeah, not in the dust storm.
So.
Anything with a nice paint job, really, you wouldn't want outside in the dust storm. But
now, several people have asked about 17 million twats. He's supposed to be here. I mean, he's in England, so God only knows what he's doing. He may be asleep. He may be still at the pub, because from his previous visits with us, we know he does enjoy the pub, which kind of fits the stereotype.
yeah.
But he's I think 4JC asked about him, just some general questions. I think he's a college kid.
Yeah.
Right? And has a wicked accent. I mean, you got to listen really hard to figure out what he's saying most of the time. And he's just he's fun to talk to. So.
And Triple X CEO wanted to know about his username. It's actually about the Brexit vote, because he's calling the people who voted for Brexit idiots, basically. That's what his username is.
I didn't know that. I'd forgotten that. I think he told us that at one time, but I forgot.
Yeah, he told us that on Hangout one time.
He's not wrong.
He's not.
I'll just weigh in. I don't know. Oh, hang on. He's messaging right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I'll try again to add him.
Well, while you're doing that, we'll go to the next question from Blarney. Would you rather wear the same underwear for a week without washing, or share a toothbrush with a homeless man for a weekend? Well, being as I've done both, you know, I'm definitely going with the dirty skivvies. That would be underwear for you non-Southern people. Yeah, I can flip those things inside out several times and figure they'll be fine. But there's just no way out of sharing a toothpaste with a homeless man. That just means I don't brush my teeth for the whole weekend.
Or use your finger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, because you'd have to share it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not going to share my finger with a homeless man. He's not brushing either of his teeth with my finger.
Yeah, I think the underwear has to be the obvious answer there.
Well, and let's be honest, you can always go free falling, without.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you can always go commando. So
right. So that's the underwear is completely optional.
I don't know. I think that's outside of the question parameter, isn't it?
Is that against
you
the
have to wear them? I think it said you have to wear them.
Oh.
Yeah,
wear them.
Well, the other thing about underwear is you wear them underneath your clothes, so nobody has to know that you're working on day 7.
Right.
Along the same lines, you don't have to during that week at any point wear them underneath your clothes.
Well, that's true. You could wear them outside your clothes, I suppose.
This image brought to you by my 3-year-old who occasionally comes out with underwear on her head. You could wear those things on your head for a week. It wouldn't be remotely awful.
True.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's true. It doesn't say that has to be the only pair of underwear you're wearing either.
Sure.
Right.
You can double up. As a matter of fact, we went to a high school basketball game tonight, and my son's having somewhat of a alpha dog battle with one of the guys in his class. And he had heard through the grapevine that his little friend was going to try to pants him tonight at the game. So he thought ahead and wore 2 pair of underwear, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
So it can be done, just for the record. So are you going underwear too, Guyton, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the obvious choice.
All right. Bama 4JC says, what do you miss most about living in Alabama, and what do you like most about Arizona?
The landscape is definitely what I like most. Enjoy the mountains and the desert landscape, that sort of thing. What I miss most is not really having a fall, at least because I'm in the Valley of the Sun. I'm in the Metro Phoenix area. We don't really have a fall. It's been below freezing, I think, one night so far this winter, maybe. And I'm not even sure it got below freezing that night. It may have just been like 34. And that was last week, by the way. This week we're in the 70s for highs. And there was a golf tournament going on locally. So, yeah, there's a PGA golf tournament this week. The Pro-Am part of it is tomorrow, I think. But anyway, I have to drive through all the traffic to get to work. It's loads of fun. Have a special little parking pass. But anyway, so yeah, the thing that I miss most, though, is actually having a fall and a winter, which is part of the reason that I would actually, my original goal was to actually be in the slightly northern part of Arizona, not as far north as Flagstaff, say, but a little bit further north than here, closer to about the same parallel as Huntsville is on where I'm from in Alabama. So that's still the goal, because then I would actually get to have a fall and a winter.
Does it freeze that much in Alabama?
Well, see, I was in northern Alabama. I was in Huntsville. I was actually just about 10 minutes from the Tennessee state line.
Gotcha.
I don't know, man. You've got no sound.
Yeah, I know. He's on mute. But yeah, so I did get, a fair amount of snow and or ice.
Cool.
Am I on? Hey,
you are on.
You are on now.
On like Donkey Kong.
That's right.
Well,
I was wondering.
You're only
3:30
minutes late. So.
I know, only 35. That's pretty good.
I just got finished telling people that you were probably still stuck in the pub.
Yeah, I probably was.
I told them that you were do what?
Oh, saying it's like 3:30 in the morning there. I mean,
It is.
Whatever day it is, Tuesday?
I don't even know. Wednesday.
Oh, because it's in the morning there. Right,
yeah.
right. But I mean, I would imagine most things are closed right now.
Well, you would think that, but
yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Wherever there's a 24-hour supermarket, there's a way.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Tom. I'm 17 million times in the app. You can call me Tom. Yeah, I'm the one of the few foreign users. Foreign to you, anyway. But yeah, it's my second time on Hangouts as well. So yeah.
Excellent. And we went through the what your name meant before you were here.
Yep.
Having to do with Brexit.
Yep.
Brexit. And Guyton said that you were not wrong. They are 17 million twats. They made the wrong decision.
Yeah, they did.
Cool. And the really important question that you missed is that if would you rather wear the same underwear for a week without washing, or share a toothbrush with a homeless man for the weekend?
Oh my God. Got to go with the underwear.
Yeah, that's pretty much it's unanimous then. We will all share the same pair of underwear. We will all wear the same pair of underwear. Okay.
I hear they go well with your shorts.
Yeah.
There you go. With the Daisy Duke, definitely. Oh.
So 4JC asked a bunch of background questions about you, Tom, but I think we've hit most of those. Let's see. She also asked for you, Susan. What do you do in your spare time? You got any hobbies
No.
other than football? Since it's not football season.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
watching Alabama football is about it. No, not really. Show of hands and Alabama football are pretty much my hobbies at the moment. You know, I watch TV, watch movies, occasionally go out to a movie, that sort of thing. But no real true hobbies anymore. I occasionally watch work logic problems, but that doesn't fit into the hobby of her wanting to know if it's a solitary hobby. Well, I guess it's a solitary hobby, but
It doesn't have to be.
there are groups that work logic problems.
So Julie and I thought it would be a fun thing to do one of those escape rooms.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
I would love to do one of those actually.
It was a lot of fun. We had, what was it? The two of us went. We got her sister and her sister's boyfriend, and then some friends from around here, and it was a lot of fun. They gave us an hour, which was cool, and it was a lot of. There was one couple that joined us because you book the space, and there are whatever it was 10 slots, and we filled 8 of them. So we thought, well, who would go and join a group of 8 that's already pre-established? Most people wouldn't.
But you found the couple that did.
But you found some that would.
Yes, but they were all right. So it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time with that.
Let's see. Miss Crayon Wax asked, "What have you been up to, Tom?" So.
What have I been up to? Oof, what haven't I been up to? It's first year uni for me, so I've been busy like work and studying the usual sort of generic.
Where do you work?
Boring.
What kind of job do you have?
What
kind of job do you have? Your job.
Oh, I meant work as in like uni work.
Oh.
Like studying work.
Oh, so you don't like actually have something that someone pays you to do something. You just bum off your parents?
Not unless student loans count.
No. In some of the more civilized parts of the world, they value education enough to make it reasonable.
Blah 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 blah.
Says the doctor professor, dude.
Yeah, says the man who gets paid by that.
I'm picking on you. I work in higher ed too, but
It's fair.
So, and Bama, how's the job search?
Hang on, I'm chewing ice. Sorry, bad habit. But anyway, I had the job I have been at for a little over 6 months. Thinking it's probably not where I want to stay for like ever and ever, amen, because there's not a lot of room for job growth. But I'm kind of looking for something that's maybe still in the same area, but there are actually a lot of positions doing what I do, which is basically evaluations and registrar and that sort of stuff, that you can academic advising that you can do remotely. So I'm actually kind of looking into doing some of that.
Cool. Let's see. The next question, I guess, is to me. Susan asked if we were going to get a kitchen update. So this is the kitchen. It is basically finished.
That looks fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, we will have a here will be a custom built in early March. So that's and
That's really exciting.
As I'm looking around, I realize that my battery's dying very quickly. So if I lose you, that's why. But anyway, yeah, it's basically done. We're back in here. We're cooking. I cooked ravioli. Let me rephrase that. I heated up ravioli tonight. So it's now again a working kitchen. So yeah, we feel good about it. So
the countertops are lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you very
I didn't
much.
see those last time, so
yes, they.
There you go.
So, and the piece that we're getting is going to be black, and it'll pick up on the black in the granite.
Right.
So anyway,
very nice.
There you go. For the two of you that cared about that, there you go.
No, it looks good. Real quick, Zod, about the time crystals, I will totally do that for a Science Friday.
Well, can you fill the rest of us in on time crystals?
Yeah, I was going to say, what in the world?
I can't. Not really.
Okay.
Okay, well, good talk.
I have to look into that quite a bit more.
Okay. That's awesome.
But I will. I'll have it down by this time tomorrow. So, CT. Oh goodness, I don't do well with this. CTS Kapsky, but it might be CT Skapsky. I know we talked to you, and I don't really actually remember where the cutoff for your name is. I mean, it's possible that your name starts with 4 consonants. That happens sometimes. Asks, we'll do the second one first. He said he gave blood today. Does anybody have any good stories about bloodletting? Because that kind of segues into the first question a little better anyway.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I don't know, I give blood a lot. I've got blood that they need for burn victims, so I get called every time that I'm able to give. They call me and beg me to set it up. I don't have any good stories. I've given like 9 gallons though, but
I've been turned down every time I've tried. I am hypoglycemic, and every time they test my blood sugar, it's always too low. So they're like, "No thanks." So.
Well, it's just as well. I don't think that the needles are gluten free, so you'd have an issue with that. You know, it hits your GI tract. Or whatever.
It's actually how they sterilize them. They just dip them in a beer and.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, I'm very impressed that you knew that beer is not gluten free. I'm thoroughly impressed.
He's a scientist. He knows everything.
Because most people have no clue what gluten is. So
delicious.
It's delicious. That's what it is.
I don't disagree. It's just my body doesn't process it so well.
Yeah, Tom, you're gluten free, aren't you?
No. Very much the opposite.
Like, not even in the last hour, probably, are you gluten free?
Probably not.
No, I'm really not. It's pretty hard to be if you're a student in Europe.
So what is, like, in America, the students that are broke, they eat something called ramen noodles. Do y'all have ramen noodles?
Never
Is
heard of
that a thing over there? So what do starving students eat over in Europe?
super noodle or pot noodle.
Super
Pot
noodle.
noodle.
So
Or pot noodle.
basically, all right.
So
Pretty much
probably
same thing.
their version of ramen, I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or like ready meals, microwave, standard.
What, has anybody else out there give blood, or is it just me?
I
No,
haven't.
Bama said she couldn't.
Yeah. I've tried.
I can't. I've tried, but there's the questionnaire thing that you have to fill out, and one of the questions is, have you lived in the UK since whatever year? And I always have to answer yes, and then they say, well, no, you might have mad cow. And that's seriously their answer.
Even though you've lived here for how many years?
Wow.
I've lived here long enough, but I lived in England for 3 years, and apparently it was right around a time period where they were concerned about mad cow in a big way, and now I can't give blood because I don't know. Because even though it's been years and years and years, I may or may not have some kind of dormant something. I don't know.
Well, that sounds to me like a problem with the Trump administration and the discrimination that he has put forth. And I'm going to have to write a letter to my congressman and maybe go protest.
You know, I'm a little bit concerned because there's a part of me that says that everything's in such a tight little unstable equilibrium right now that if I were to maybe give some blood, it might be enough to be deported. I don't know. It's only a matter of time. In all seriousness, though, it is enough of a concern, and I know enough people who are here on green cards, which should be, a pretty permanent thing. You know, you have to renew it every 10 years, but that should be permanent enough, and it is, in all actuality, scary as anything that it's not.
Yeah.
There's my seriousness.
Yeah, I think I told someone the other day that I don't think he's going after your standard green card immigrant, but it scares me to think that he may think he has the power to do so. So, and Tom is over there saying, "Thank God I'm in England and we just got out of exactly stupid Americans."
I mean,
What he's thinking over there.
I think over here we kind of played a game of I think we just played a game of story topping, right? We said, wait a second, you think this Brexit thing's a bad idea? No. Hold my beer.
See if we can beat you.
Exactly.
Always got to be first, you Americans.
Oh goodness.
It seriously feels like we just went through 6 months of hold my beer while I go vote.
But the good news is we get to try again in 4 years. So.
Oh God. I don't know whether to be optimistic or dreading it.
Yeah, and I did hear that he has already filed for re-election. So the question of if you run again has already been answered.
It begins again.
You know, the list of people that I've seen announce that they're interested in running next time now includes The Rock.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Okay. That'll be mean.
Dwayne Johnson? That would be awesome.
Yep.
Smell The Rock's cooking.
Yes.
That's right.
And
Oh wow, you do the eyebrow well, Ron. Oh my
Thank you very
gosh.
much. I can do the eyebrow with both of them. Actually, that's an old NC State joke, amphibious instead of ambidextrous. We'll talk about that at some other time.
I would be willing to wager that if he would have announced a year ago, he would have had a much higher chance than someone with a background in pro wrestling should ever have had.
Oh, agreed.
It might
Well,
have been,
I don't know.
it
I
might have
hate
been
to bring this up, but if you go to YouTube, you can find Donald Trump wrestling
Yes.
in a
Yeah. Oh God, that is so funny. Shapes of his head.
WCW main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Gosh, on behalf of all America, let's just all
How is he president?
get embarrassed right there. Yes, he
I
has
know
been in the ring.
there was a big protest against Trump yesterday in the city that I'm in now, Leeds, and someone had a massive sign saying "Trump, you oversized cheese puff."
Wow.
It was amusing.
Well, he does seem to be uniting the world against
That's
him,
true.
but it does seem to be a unifying factor.
It's one way of doing it.
Yeah. Oh man.
I will say I've been pleasantly surprised by how many new people I've kind of come across because of this whole thing. People that I would have, never really had any kind of a connection with, any way of talking to or anything. That will just, even on social media, people like I had a friend of Ron's message me because of a comment that I made on one of his videos, and it was cool. It's
Rick actually might be watching. I sent him the link. So
oh cool.
Rick, there you go. So it's a friend of mine from high school, best friend from high school. Love him to death. One of my oldest friends. He knows where all the bodies are buried. So,
He buried them.
but he's a good guy. So, but yeah, there you go. And Polish food. Anybody like Polish food?
Yeah.
That was the other question.
Yeah.
I like me a good Polish sausage.
I was trying to think what I've had that's Polish other than Polish sausage, and I'm not sure that I've had anything else, but yeah.
Sauerkraut, is that Polish or is that more
that's
German?
German, yeah.
It's all European. Don't try to talk to me. I'm like
they're next to each other.
I mean, it's all like one big thing over there. Oh, that is until you guys kicked yourselves out. So maybe it's different now.
It's just us, Switzerland, and the rest.
That's right. There you go. Let's see, Jenna. We got a few questions from her to close us out tonight.
You don't want to have the discussion about the other part of his question?
What's the other part of his question?
Regarding executive orders.
I don't like them. I'm probably one of the only. Well, obviously Tom didn't vote for him. I don't know that you could you vote as a green card? You couldn't vote. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So me and Susan are the only two that could have voted. I voted for him just because I didn't have an option for me. Even though the option would have been different for Guyton. There goes my liberty.
I will say that my green card versus citizenship had nothing to do with why I would not, or why I didn't vote for him. But
sure. But you did promise my children you would not vote for Hillary, and I appreciate you coming through that. Yeah, I didn't like it when Obama did it. I don't like it now that Trump is doing it. So I'm one of the few Republicans that's consistent in that. I think they have their place, but they are being abused. So there you go. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the EOs, yeah, they may be abused. Although I will say abusing them to reverse previous EOs, I don't have a problem with.
I would agree with that.
If we're going back, if we're just saying, hey, let's reverse this one. But yeah, we should go through the proper channels. There's a reason that we have 3 branches of government. So
right.
But
I mean, you it shouldn't surprise anybody.
no,
I mean, he's a megalomaniac, and you've given him power. So, or we have given him power. So he's gonna walk right through the door that Obama opened for
right.
abusing that power.
Right.
So I assume you're in that same camp too, Guyton. I assume you don't really love the executive orders.
I don't. And I don't fully understand it at the moment, because it seems like he's in a position to push through absolutely anything he wants based on some of the people he's been appointing and not getting immediately shut down. If someone like Jeff Sessions or Betsy DeVos can be given a legitimate shot at those positions without it just being some kind of an inside joke, then he can push through pretty much anything. Like if you can get away with that, what's going to stop you? You know what I mean?
I don't want to fight with you, so let's not talk about Sessions, because I happen to love and respect the man and have met him personally. You can talk about Betsy, whoever, DeBach or whatever, if you want.
He actually goes to church with Betsy DeVos.
She goes to our church, or did before.
Gotcha.
I don't know if she's there anymore, but she was there for, even up until a handful of months ago.
Well, then you obviously know her better than I do, because I've seen her name, but I do like and respect Sessions, and have met him. So
I have not met him. I know very little about him as a person. All I can speak to is his positions and ideologies, and
some of which have been very misconstrued, by the way, by the media.
Everything's misconstrued by the blooming media.
Yeah, you have a good point there, Tom.
Yet again, something we can all agree. I think one of the questions yesterday was, what do you trust more, the news off of social media or the news off of the mainstream media? And the sad thing is, you actually have to think about that question.
Yeah, it really is.
No matter who you look at,
similar.
Fox News, CNN, neither of them are what they should be. So, or European news sources. Sorry, Tom, don't mean to leave you out. I'm sure your media sucks just as bad as ours does. Okay?
Oh, it does.
Don't feel like I'm leaving you out. Well, let's get on to Jenna's stuff. Where would your dream honeymoon be? Where do people honeymoon when you live in Europe?
When we live in Europe, well, my parents went to Paris. I think other people go like Rome, Greece, Spain, places like that. Some go like further away, like America, but it depends on the person, I guess. Same with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went to Montego Bay, so down in Jamaica, which was pretty cool. Gained like 20 pounds because it was all inclusive and it was delicioso. So, how about you, Firefly? Where'd you go?
We went to a series of bed and breakfast things. We stayed in Michigan and just kept going north through Michigan and stayed at bed and breakfasts along the way, um, which was great. It was a really cool thing, and um, it was very low key, but we didn't really need to go places necessarily.
Bed and breakfasts sound fun though. That sounds like a cool thing to do.
Hmm.
I would probably pick Hawaii. I don't know. A beach somewhere, either that or a mountain cabin with snow, depending on the time of year, I'm thinking.
Much like Hawaii is now,
Yeah,
snowfield.
there you go. I said, or the beach or a mountain cabin, and I don't care where the cabin is, okay?
Yeah, we were able to go to Honolulu a couple years ago. Actually, wow, 8 years ago now, 8 or 9. And my wife promised she would never go again. So it's a long flight for, you could go to the Caribbean for the same experience. So she said, we're done. We're not going back. So just my 2 cents worth on Hawaii. I'd like to go back, but I'm not getting another wife in order to, so. I'm pretty sure I can't upgrade on what I've got now. So I'm sticking
She does
with what
seem
I've got.
pretty awesome, I have to say.
Didn't keep the receipt.
No doubt. Let's see. Do you like Jenna's polls? That's another question. I am a huge fan of Jenna, even though we disagree on just about everything imaginable, from religion to politics to, everything. But I know some people have issues with her, but she's always been really sweet to me.
Mm-hmm.
Me as well. Jenna and I tend to get along pretty well and don't agree on anything. So,
I found that she's got a nasty side if you show her your nasty side.
Oh,
she
yeah.
has no problems
Agreed.
going to the mat.
Same with anyone though, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's yeah, I think that's yeah. I like Jenna a lot, but we agree on considerably more, I think.
I've got to go kill the dog. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Do you miss any show of hands users?
Oof. Well,
I think most of the ones that came to mind, we got to show up in Ron's poll the other day by tagging them. So.
Yeah. That was. I've done that before. That was pretty fun little poll.
Yeah, it was fun.
One that was not mentioned that has been a friend of the show. Are you one to be seen?
Oh yeah. And Just Bob was mentioned, and he didn't show up either when he was tagged. Just Bob, who used to do this show a lot. So,
but
I remember a user back from when I first started. I think he even left before we had the option of profile pics. It was actually a rather young user, and so his name is going to make you laugh. But his name was Sexy Steve. But he was a very smart, intelligent young guy from I don't even remember where. But this was before we even had profile pics, or I think we couldn't ask poll questions yet. So,
ironically, I wanted that to be my, but
but it was taken. Yes,
I couldn't take it. So,
I think he changed his name to Political.
That would actually work since political thing, but no, it's actually not. They were on at the same time, so.
Yeah. Nope. I was vaguely aware that Political's name was Steve.
Yeah,
Steven.
It's Steven.
Something like that.
It's Steven.
Do you enjoy the ocean or the lake better?
Probably ocean.
Ocean.
Yeah. There's not really many lakes around. Yeah, so I only know the ocean.
The only lake I have really been around are man-made lakes, so I don't know that I've ever been to a natural lake. So ocean.
Not a lot of ocean in Arizona either, right?
Yeah, no. Not a lot of waterways, period, in Arizona. A few rivers, but
Of course, Guyton, where you are, the ocean, the lake kind of is the ocean.
Yeah, our lakes are pretty big. Some would call them great. But, no, they're pretty gigantic. But I mean, I'll be the different one and say a lake because I can get there in 40 minutes. But equal travel time or even reasonably close travel time, I like the ocean better. But we'll take it.
Yeah,
better than nothing.
I haven't been to a lake in a long time, but we go to the beach all the time. So I guess I'll have to say the ocean. Whichever has a boat waiting for me to get on it, so I can go fishing. That's my my preference.
Yeah, I like standing in the surf and letting the surf hit my legs and the sand go out from underneath my feet. I just love that feeling. Don't know why. There's a really weird random fact about me.
Yeah. Noted. Do you have a favorite city?
No.
In the world?
Guess not. Okay.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah, favorite city in the world.
Can't like Berlin.
Who?
Berlin's pretty cool.
Berlin is what he said.
Yeah, we really can't compete with those European cities.
And I really don't have one. So
I love DC. Love to go to DC.
I have been there, but as a kid, yeah. But it was a nice city. Of course, that was the 80s.
Yeah. You've been to a lot of cities, Guyton. What's your favorite?
Maybe Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Was very nice. It was I mean, I hit it at just the right time of year too, though. But in high school, I spent a summer in Australia and New Zealand, and I mean, it was their winter, but it didn't matter that much. And it was
still bloody warm.
Yeah. New Zealand was a little colder, but it's like it was like our maybe mid-spring days are here. So I would gladly take that, but Australia was fantastic. They both really were, but Australia was, I mean, when you go in the dead of winter and you're still stuck right between 68 and 75 all the time, it's not a bad deal. So I really like that. I could go back, but I won't leave the country for a while. Do you have any secrets you wish to share?
If I did, they wouldn't be secret.
That's what I was thinking. It's like,
I honestly don't really have any secrets. I've not done one of those ask me anything questions because I'm pretty much all the time ask me anything. That's pretty much what we do, when we come on the show. Yeah. I really don't have any secrets. Just ask a question, I'll answer it. As long as the wife is, really asleep, because there are some things Robert doesn't want me to answer. But, other than that, I'm an open book.
Any secrets that I have are really secrets because they're other people's secrets, not really my secrets. I mean, there are things that I don't necessarily advertise, but if someone asks, I answer. So.
The other two are conspicuously quiet. Sounds like
Yeah, they really
are. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person that keeps secrets. Well, nothing juicy anyway.
Nope.
Shaking my head.
I was gonna say, Guyton's like, I'm not saying a word.
No, he's not even gonna say no for fear that the secret's gonna slip out.
No, nothing that's relevant anymore. No, I had a weird past, but pretty much they went from being secrets to being good stories. You know, I think
Some of which you have shared with us.
But I mean,
I think I shared a couple.
I remember.
Let's be honest. Who hasn't spent a drug-filled weekend with 5 transvestites on the Navy ship? I mean, that's really. No judgments here, you know.
It's a no judgment zone.
So you don't even have to tell that story. I mean, you've told me, but you don't have to tell that story.
That was
awesome.
Well, no, I've got a secret that I don't think I've ever told anyone. When I was 9, when I was 9, every morning I would get up early enough and go over to my neighbor's house and steal his crossword puzzle. Yeah, it was a very minor thing, but it was something for me to do. It wouldn't have even registered as any kind of a memory at all, except for one day I remember him just flipping out because he never gets the crossword puzzle. And I remember sitting there thinking, you should call that man.
Oh, that's awesome. I could just hear that phone call, him calling the editor. Damn it, my crossword puzzle's gone again. Why do you keep missing my crossword puzzle?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's one of those dumb secrets or whatever, but it's legitimately a secret because that's something I haven't told people before.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Not anymore. I'm gonna have to dig more into my past for other things.
Now it's out there on the internet for all to see. So.
Yep. So if you were my neighbor when I was 9, full disclosure. Oh well. I think Ron's phone died.
Yeah.
We should probably about call it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, Susan, Tom, thank you for being on.
Anytime.
Happy to do it. Thanks.
Ron, if you watch, I don't know why you'd watch, but I'll send you something. Thank you, and thank you for anyone who's watching.
Susan, especially because she always comments.
Yes.
Even if we can't get her to be on.
Oh, there he is. So we will see you next time. No guarantee on it being next week. We are in a very busy state at the moment, but we'll do our best. Thank you again, and see you next time.